I got a quick question for you. Which skill would you say is more important? The entirety of math or the ability to understand females? We can all agree that the latter, the female mind, is a lot more important to know than the numbers and math and stuff, right? Why the hell is math mandatory when it's not really that useful? There was no need to learn that. But just imagine the consequences of not understanding the female mind. You either fall into zina, you get married and get treated like a dog by your wife forever. This is very common in the Muslim community, by the way. Our family never really told us anything about this. They never really talked about it. If you are like an average Muslim man, most likely it was actually extremely awkward and uncomfortable for you to talk about the topic of females and like attraction and stuff. It's really awkward. But it is literally the most important skill. Although I've been raised in a similar household as you have, I've unfortunately fallen into a lot of unfortunate experiences with females. Luckily for you, you don't need to fall into the BS that I fell into. You don't need to ruin your mental health and like your reputation and all this stuff. You can stay pure in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can stay pure in front of your family. And you can still learn the mind of females, which will allow you to have a really beautiful marriage. That is the one thing that I will admit. Although I really regret my past, now I'm able to pick out the best fruits of the tree and also be able to make my wife submit to me and be thirsty towards me all the time, 24/7, because I know the female mind. This is the reason that so many like hyper successful Muslim men who work in IT make 100K a year. You probably know someone like this. They end up marrying like really bad women, like really bad hijabis that treat them like garbage. And then some like men who had experience but maybe they repented and they like really like they regretted it. Those men actually end up being with like really good females. Now, before I get into these tips that I've learned throughout my life, I'll put that all into this video. Before I do that, the first link in the description will take you to my Halal risk course where I break this down a lot more detail. It's based on like the books, the videos, the courses that I studied, all my experiences. If you want to know like exactly what my past looked like also, I detail all that in the first link in the description. One of my aunties, she's like 60 years old. She's been a teacher her whole life. She said something to me that really stuck with me because it was so controversial by like Western ideals. She said, girls are basically children. Like you gotta treat them pretty much the same way. You just need to give them a chocolate. You buy them a lolly or a chocolate and they'll be really happy. And that really stuck with me, and every single time I interacted with females, that turned out to be more and more true for some reason. Although so many women will get offended by this, it doesn't matter because it's just a simple truth. You might be thinking, buy a chocolate, that's so gay. Like if you're living in the West and you buy a woman a chocolate, she's gonna think you're retarded. She's probably gonna like dump you because realistically in the West, women are whole-flated. So just imagine this, right? A normal child who was raised in a normal family, like a middle-class, working-class family, if you buy them a chocolate bar, say they're like 8 or 9 years old, they'll be really happy. They're like, oh yeah. Now imagine there is a child who literally got everything he's ever wanted throughout his entire life. When he said, I want this toy, they got it instantly. When he said, I want this like a seesaw in my yard, they got that. I want this slide, I want this, they got everything they ever wanted. The video games, the iPad, the PlayStation. How do you think they'll react when someone buys them a chocolate? They're not gonna give a damn. They're gonna be like, get this chocolate off my face, man. Go get me like a Willy Wonka golden chocolate or something. And that's what's happening in the West. pretty much all Western women, and I'm going to say this and offend the hell out of them, they're basically spoiled children. Children who were raised in like really rich families, and they always got whatever the hell they wanted. So that's the game we're playing. But at the end of the day, they're still children, and you have to deal with them just like children. Do you know how many men I know who literally get told what to do by their wife all the time, 24/7? We all know people like this in the Muslim community. If his wife wants to go to this wedding or something and he doesn't want to, his wife will still make him go. It's just how it is. He's just gonna be like, oh, okay, well, I didn't want to, but if you want to, okay, and he'll just leave. Now, how does this make any sense? Because we all know that women are naturally feminine and submissive and men are naturally dominant. So how does this happen? It doesn't make any sense. And more importantly, why are they still together? Shouldn't the women be really unhappy with all like the knowledge that we have about females? Turns out that's not the case. Because it doesn't quite work like that. Women, they don't actually mind being dominant sometimes. It depends on the personality as well. If you are a submissive man, certain type of dominant woman will be attracted to you, and you're gonna have like a long-lasting marriage with them. You're gonna be a cock. You're gonna get treated like a slave, but you're still gonna have a long-lasting marriage. And the woman will be happy as well, because probably this type of woman craves power her whole life. She always wanted to be in control because maybe she lacked control in her childhood or something. So, by allowing a woman to tell you what to do a couple of times, you're going to condition her to be the dominant. So it's all up to you. If you want, you can pursue that life. I'm not gonna, well, actually, I am gonna judge you, but I'm not gonna try to stop you or anything, obviously. But if you are anything like me, you cannot imagine a life like that, because, like, you're gonna be, just imagine. You will be getting told what to do in the bedroom. Now do this, now do this, give me your pencil, now put this right here. The Hijabi Wagi accent. If you are watching this video, you probably don't want that, because you're a base Muslim man, because that's the kind of people that watch my videos, as far as I know. So you want to be the dominant one. But the way you achieve that is a little bit messy. Because every single woman, this is the second point that nobody's ever going to tell you. Every single woman is going to be toxic, emotional, childish, loud, crazy. You know, people say that the woman is crazy. They're all going to be like that. It doesn't make her a bad woman. It's your job to push past that and turn her into what you want her to be. Do you understand that? So if she's like loud and rambunctious, like she gets mad about you cheating, I mean not cheating, like she gets mad about you looking at this girl, she gets mad about you hanging out with your cousin or something, she will be like this because she's testing you. She doesn't know this because women don't actually know what they're doing. But subconsciously, she's just testing if you are a strong enough man to push past those like annoying things and still propel forward with what you want. And guess what happens? She tries to know you, she tries to manipulate you, she tries to test you. You push past all that, and then she's going to submit to you and she's going to fall in love with you. She doesn't know that's what she wants, because women don't know what they want. But that's actually what's going to make her happy at the end of the day. So what am I trying to say? In the practical sense. When a woman gets like really angry about things. Well, why did you look at that girl? Blah, blah, blah. Instead of trying to convince her, well, I wasn't even looking at her, I was looking at her hijab, I was looking at her, that's normal, like all men do this. That doesn't do anything, because you're still getting annoyed. And when you get annoyed, women see this subconsciously as a weakness. And they will just keep dominating you. I'm not saying she's going to leave you, but she's going to keep dominating you. She's going to keep being crazy because it's working. What you need to do is say, oh, that girl, yeah, I think she was alright. And then she's going to be like, what the hell, what are you saying? I think she was alright, but I think you're hotter, come here. And you just like start grabbing her and stuff. That advice alone, if you write it down, remember it for the rest of your life, it's going to make your marriage like 1,000,000,000 times better. Trust me. Which brings me to my third point. Which is about toxic femininity. Everybody talks about toxic masculinity in the West. It's a really big topic. But toxic femininity is actually 10 times worse. The greatest psychologist of all time, Sigmund Freud, he had a famous quote: "A devouring mother is the greatest impediment to human development." And that is 100% true. 100%. When men are toxically masculine, they might get angry, they might be a little bit abusive once in a while, but that's not really like that bad. Like, humans will still develop, maybe even quicker. They'll still build bridges, they'll still invent things. But when all mothers and wives become really devouring, don't do this, you'll get hurt, don't do this, this will happen. What happens is, all the men just stop developing. This is the biggest pandemic that is happening in the Muslim world today. The Muslim men aren't succeeding like the white people because specifically it's not because the USA invaded Afghanistan. It has nothing to do with that. Shut the hell up. That you might, Afghans might say something like that. Oh yeah, well, this didn't work because of the USA. That's one thing. But you as a Muslim man living in the West, that has nothing to do with you. Oh, I'm not going to talk about that topic. It's going to make me really pissed. But essentially, the reason Muslim men don't develop is because their mothers and their wives tell them what to do. They tell them, that's too scary, don't do that. Don't ride that bike too far. Don't hang out with your friends for too long. Don't go out too late. Don't do this, don't do that. They mean well. They think they're doing the right thing. But the word that develops you is it forces you to be phobic. It will give you a phobia of adventure. So you will always be terrified of anxiety. You'll be really anxious because they're telling you these things like, oh, if you do that, if you go out into chaos, something really bad will happen. So for your entire life, you don't know what that really bad thing is. So you literally live your life being afraid of something that you don't even know what it is. Of course you're a pussy. Of course you're not going to go into a cage and fight someone, because what's going to happen? I did this. And my whole life I've been conditioned not to do it. I went and did it, and I was like, wait, like, I feel normal. Like, I got punched in the head. I got a rock, like, kicked in the face. I feel normal. It's not that bad. So then I started trying all things that seemed really difficult and scary, and my life got better and better. And that's how white people succeed, because they don't give a damn. They don't overthink. They don't have any anxiety. Just keep pushing forward. Not all of them. There's a lot of white losers. We all know this. I'm talking about specifically the successful people like, like Conor McGregor, or like Elon Musk, like Bill Gates, like all the ultra successful white people. That's what they've done, because they didn't have a mother who tried to hold them back. That's the bottom line. I don't care who gets mad about this. The next point I'm going to make is that at some point, the care that you're getting from your mother or your wife or any woman is not for your own benefit. What they mean when they say, don't do this, it's scary, they don't mean it's for your own good. They're not saying if you do this, like, if you don't do that, you're going to become more successful, you're going to become safer. It's not about that. They are basically just saying, don't do that because it's making me feel anxious. This is a big mind shift, because when we grow up with our family, we don't realize that they're actually really selfish in a way. They have so many insecurities from their childhood, and they will put that onto you. They're not doing it on purpose, because look, I'm not saying they are bad, like, at all, don't get me wrong, because obviously until you turn like 18 or like 17, you're supposed to listen to your parents. You're supposed to, because you don't know any better and they know a lot more than you. But after a certain point, listening to your parents is making you a loser. There's no question about it. And these insecurities that they're putting on you, they're not doing it on purpose. They can't help it. It's just how they were raised. Especially the Muslims. Because the Muslims, they never care about mental health, right? So all these insecurities, they never heal and go past us. So at some point, it will trickle onto you. There's no question about it. So remember that. The last point I'm going to make is that women don't actually know what they want. I've seen so many countless situations. Hold on, give me a second. I've seen so many countless situations where there was a woman who told this man, "I'll never marry you. I never want to see you. I hate you." At some point, she ends up marrying that same guy. Why does this happen? Like, if a man says, "I'll never marry you," to a woman, he probably will never marry her. Because when a man says something, he's calculated everything. Okay, she's this, she's a hoe, she looks like this, it's not my type, she's toxic. He knows already that she's not going to be his wife. When a woman says, "I'm not going to be your husband," that just means right now, in this moment, considering all my feelings, I don't feel like marrying you right now. That's literally all that means. After like 2 or 3 years, those exact women, in a lot of cases, they end up marrying that man. And they're like, fully, "No, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with you." What this means is, if a woman rejects you, don't take it personally, because all that means is she didn't feel like marrying you at that exact time. If you go and talk to her again in like a year time, she might be like, "Oh, he's actually a really nice guy, I want to marry him." Their words aren't, Their words aren't definitive. They don't really mean anything other than what they are feeling at that exact moment. Keep this phrase in mind. Women don't know what they want. They might tell you that they want you to take them to a trip to Bali. What they really mean is she just wants you to spend more time with her. And if you take her to Bali like she wanted you to, if she gets a bad feeling, if you look at some woman on the way or something, she's not going to be happy. Like, even if you don't do anything, let's just say, if she goes there and she doesn't like the weather or something, she doesn't like the climate, she's not going to be happy, even though she's been saying we need to go to Bali for the past 10 years. That's how women are. They don't know what they want. They just think in feelings and they try to translate it into words. So don't take what a woman says literally, ever. Always look at what's behind what they are saying. So there you go. That was like some crazy knowledge. I went a little bit too fast. So if you really want to take this in, I suggest you rewind, you watch this video all over again. If you can download it, click the download button if you have like YouTube Premium, or otherwise, like, I really suggest if you go to gym or you're driving or something, just put your earphones, like connect it to your radio in the car and just drive around listening to this. Because this is literally golden knowledge. This is more knowledge than you're going to learn in any university degree. Again, if you got any value from this video, first look in the description. That's going to put everything I say into practice. It will allow you to, firstly, find a very beautiful, submissive Muslim wife. And secondly, it will allow you to maintain her and keep that compassion, keep that passion, romance, and love going for the entire time. So if you're serious about this, go click that link. There's another link down below, which is going to take you to a one-on-one consultation booking. Stay hard. That came out wrong. Stay tough, and if you got any questions, feel free to put them down in the comments and I'll reply.